Over the last couple of months, you probably noticed that I haven't produced as many videos as I typically do. And that's mainly because of the work that I've been doing here in our basement of our house, transforming it from an area that was usually just used for storage and our laundry into a family media room as well. Thanks in part to our sponsor, AWOL, and the LTV 3000 short throw projector and their Vision acoustic ALR floor rising screen, which is right behind me here. I know there's that great debate of what the ultimate viewing experience is. Is a flat screen TV or a projector better for your movies or TV shows? And if you are a movie purist, you'll probably say that a projector is the better way to go, but that usually comes with the caveat of watching a movie in a movie theater on a massive screen. Since most people's home setups for a projector usually consist of a device that's 5 to 10 years old that they probably just swiped from work and are using on a table or a chair in the middle of the room to project onto a wall that's not even white and it's completely washed out. This behind me is a completely different experience and one that's actually pretty affordable. What you're looking at is the AWOL Vision LTV 3000 Pro 4K laser projector and a 100-inch Vision acoustic ALR floor rising screen, which raises and lowers with a push of a button, which is incredibly convenient, especially if you don't want your screen there all of the time. Now, technically, we could have gone with a system that was up to 120 inches to fit this space, but honestly, it would have been a little bit more crowded for us because we have 2 couches here and it was just not the biggest space out there. But the projector itself can actually project an image that's up to 150 inches diagonally. And compared to this at 100 inches, just imagine that, 50% more diagonal viewing space, which is absolutely crazy. The unboxing process of the projector and the screen is honestly fairly simple and only takes about 15 to 20 minutes from start to finish. AWOL gives you everything that you need in the box with a power cable for the projector, remote, and an Amazon Fire Stick that plugs into a rear compartment on the back so that it's completely hidden away. The projector on its own does have its own built-in media system that you can load up movies or TV shows or connect to a USB stick or hard drive, or even mirror your screen from your smartphone or your laptop. But giving everyone access to an Amazon Fire Stick is a really good call since it gives you direct access to Prime Video, Disney+, YouTube, Netflix, and dozens of other streaming platforms without you having to worry whether or not AWOL's proprietary platform is going to be updated or not when it comes down the line. It's also really good with the integration that it has for controller pass-through from the main controller for the projector to the Fire Stick, allowing you to use only one of these devices to turn everything on. Just press the power button here at the top and it'll not only rise up the floor-mounted projection screen, but it'll turn on the projector itself and then give you full control over the Amazon Fire Stick UI with one single remote. AWOL does have a smart home integration into the projector as well with the Control 4 system if you have one of those, which will allow you to control everything with voice commands as well, turning the projector on and even changing the input with Alexa or Google Assistant. Unfortunately, I don't have a Control 4 system here at home, so I really wasn't able to check that out. It would be nice if they worked directly with Google and Amazon to get Alexa and Google Assistant directly integrated, which would open it up to a lot more people in order to use those features. One thing that a lot of people complain about when talking about digital projectors is the lifespan of the bulbs and also how much they cost to replace. Things though are a little bit different with laser projectors. AWOL says that the lifespan that you should get out of this is about 25,000 hours, which works out to 1,041 days if you leave it on all the time, or 11 and a half years if you watch it at a more reasonable, 6 hours a day. Needless to say, it's a very long time. Getting the projector perfectly aligned with the screen can take a couple of minutes, but it's honestly fairly simple. Once you have everything pretty much aligned to where it should be, you just need to then use the 8-point keystone correction to ensure that the projector image is squared up with the screen. The projector, though, is packed with a whole lot of features like Dolby Vision, a triple lens with 3,000 lumens of peak brightness, Dolby Atmos audio, DTS, and VirtualX HDMI eARC on the audio front, which means you will get some pretty good audio coming from the projector itself. The only downside is that you only get 36 watts of output from the stereo speaker system. And I've been using it for about a week to 2 weeks now, and it honestly does get the job done, but the space isn't incredibly large. So if you have a larger room, it's gonna sound a lot smaller than it actually is. In order to get the best experience possible, I'm actually gonna be testing out a couple different surround sound systems and also sound bars in order to see what's gonna give us the best experience to truly give us a great surround sound audio experience to go with this incredible projector and screen. Another cool feature that I do need to point out is that 3D media is supported with this projector. AWOL does have their own 3D glasses that are sold separately, but if you do buy them, you'll be able to enjoy your library of 3D movies on this massive display. And with streaming services like Disney Plus recently adding 3D media support on the Vision Pro, which is a VR headset, I'm hoping that they'll be enabling it on other devices like this as well, so that we can all enjoy their massive library of 3D content. When watching movies or TV shows, this projector does a really good job at 4K 60 FPS, and AWOL does have a built-in mode that delivers video playback at 24 frames per second if you have a video that's shot at that frame rate, matching what the director originally intended, giving you that very cinematic experience. As far as brightness goes though, what you're looking at right here is really good, even though I have a studio light right behind the camera and also these overhead lights turned on. But if we turn those off, hey Google, turn out the basement lights. This will give you an idea of what the experience is truly like when you're watching a video. Of course, watching a projector in a dark room is always going to be the best experience. And that 3000 lumens of peak brightness really stands out here, but it does really well in well-lit conditions, mainly because of the ALR screen, which plays a huge role here too. If you're not familiar with ALR screens, they do have a specific pattern that allows them to optimally reflect light from specific directions while blocking light from others. In this case, the ALR screen is perfectly tuned to deliver the optimal reflection from the projector that's below it, so that all the light from the sides and the top doesn't spill onto the screen, allowing you to have the best viewing experience possible, even in a bright room. Hey Google, turn on the basement lights. Give it a second. It's always a little slow. If you had a screen that's directly mounted to the wall, that would allow you to mount the projector to the ceiling, which honestly I think is the optimal placement for something, just to keep it out of the way. Though I'm planning on actually building a custom media console here with a slide out tray, which would mimic the distance that I have right now that's perfectly aligned between the projector and the screen itself. As you know, with all projectors, the placement between the projector and the screen will dictate how large that projection is. In this case, to get a 100-inch image, we have the projector at 9.7 inches away from the screen, but you can get as close as 6 inches, which is absolutely amazing. And that'll still give you an 80-inch image. Or if you want to take it full advantage of the 150-inch projection that you can get from this projector, you'll need to move it back up to 20 inches from the screen. Personally, I think 3000 lumens is perfect for the setup that I have here in the basement, which doesn't get any direct sunlight and we don't have any large windows. But if you want something that's a little bit brighter, there's the AWOL LTV 3500 Pro, which bumps things up to 3500 lumens. Of course, projectors are specifically built for best performing with media playback, but it is a little bit of a different story when it comes to gaming and the additional lag that this entails. Fortunately though, AWOL has thought of this by adding a dedicated gaming mode, or what they're calling turbo mode. When it's switched on, turbo mode bumps the response time to just 15 milliseconds, but you still get 4K video at 60 Hertz. But if you don't mind going a little bit lower in resolution for an additional bump in the response time, you can go to 1080p even at 120 Hertz and have an 8 milliseconds response time. I have to say, it's honestly really impressive. Going from a flat screen to this projector right here, I honestly can't even tell the difference when turbo mode is turned on. And if you truly want a real immersive gaming experience, I don't think anybody's gonna be disappointed with this setup right here. Now, before we wrap everything up, there are a couple other features that I do need to point out that are pretty important. The Ricoh f2.0 3.5-inch lens, which is the largest on the market for a short throw projector like this. It's absolutely phenomenal and incredibly sharp. It also supports 107% of the Rec 2020 color space, HDR10 and 10 Plus, and Dolby Vision. And then lastly is the fan noise from this projector. On a lot of different projectors, you constantly hear this fan. And for this one here, I haven't heard it at all. I imagine you haven't either. It comes in at 32 decibels. If the room is completely quiet and there's absolutely nothing going on and you're maybe 3 or 4 feet from the projector, you can hear it. But as soon as any media comes out from the speakers that are built in, there's no way you're ever going to hear the fan inside this projector. And that's going to do it. Be sure to check out the AWOL LTV 3000 Pro short throw projector and the Vision Acoustic ALR floor rising screen using the links in the video description below for the best prices. And also use code Phandroid at checkout to get a special discount as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.